All right, everyone. Welcome back to this series between University of Waterloo and Florida International University. Map 1 on Icebox went over to Waterloo, and now that we're back from the break, we're heading into Map 2. It's going to be Haven. And Bowser, I think you and I are both super excited for Haven. Thoughts going into this second map?
Yeah, Haven is a map that I'm quite familiar with. It's one of the maps that I study and analyze quite a lot. Very interesting setup. 3 bomb sites, or spike sites, excuse me, that you can go towards A, B, or C, which make it very, very difficult to defend and rotate around. And that's what makes this map so exciting to watch, because of how fast and how teams decide to rotate around the map, because you have any 3 sites that you can potentially take at a time. And this map a little more traditional in the way it's played out, as there's going to be that C long choke, A long sewers, and it's just choke after choke, but it's really all about who's going to rotate better. And wow, we've already got a full team locked in there out of FIU, and they're going to be running that double initiator composition with the Sentinel, but it's not the typical Sentinel that you would see on Haven of either Cypher or Killjoy. They're going to be running the Sage again.
Yeah, and I think we haven't seen a lot of Waterloo on Haven yet, so gonna be excited to see how they play it out. And what we have seen before, especially on Haven on Waterloo, is Kip on the Breach. And that's something that I'm gonna keep my eyes on, because, Breach is not someone that we see super often here in terms of initiator, especially on this Haven map. Usually we would see someone more akin to a double duelist. So the fact that we're gonna see a Breach is pretty exciting. But yeah, like you said, defenders, FIU locking in pretty quickly. Looks like they have a pretty clear idea of how they want to play this map, whereas maybe Waterloo's going to take a little more time to debate on what we're going to lock in, but we are going to see a Killjoy for Shrug, pretty common pick for him. And of course, as always, light on that Sova. And now we're going to head into Map 2. I'm excited, Bowser.
Yeah, me too. Breach is one of my favorite agents, personal favorites. And I really want to see how they're going to bring it into this map here. I have seen a little bit of Breach play on here when it comes to Pro. I've seen Vision Strikers take a Breach into here, but they normally pair that Breach up with the second initiator of Sky. But Waterloo got their own comp going here, and I really want to see what they're going to plan to do with this. It's really interesting to see what teams decide and how they want to play around their comps, because I personally think that in this game of Valorant, it's not about, oh, if you pick the right comp, you win. You got to pick the right comp, and then you got to know how to play the comp right as well. And so we're going to be seeing Waterloo starting on the attack side as well. And I think one thing that I'm really looking out for is how the initiators on this map are able to find value out of their utility, whether that be getting scans, whether that be converting flashes into kills. And right here off the bat, it looks like Waterloo are leaning towards a mid scenario, maybe towards C slightly, and we've just got a regular default coming off the side of it.
Now as we head into this round one, as always, pistols can decide a lot of the momentum of that first half. So gonna see how Waterloo intends to play this, especially because they've got that win advantage on their backs right now. They're 1-0, and you know they want to start off strong. So gonna see how they're gonna play this out. FIU obviously are gonna play it a little slower, looking to actually find a flank here, as it does look like Tokyo is in that window side, and with that frenzy, he's gonna find the first pick out on Vex. And once again, FIU starting off with a quick little first blood.
Yeah, and the aggression is what we're seeing from the side of FIU once more. And Waterloo are going to be bulldozing onto the C site, and that's a big kill from Minari. And Waterloo able to trade back into a 2v2 situation, and then if there, big shock dart coming out. That's going to put Shrug down to 10, and the second one's going to find the kill onto Kip, and now Shrug at 17 is going to have to find 2 heads here to win this round.
Good little flick onto that recon. Converse is gonna come up, and Tokyo peeks first, but the double peek doesn't go well for FIU. Waffle gets taken down, and now Shrug could actually have this in the bag. It's 16-17. Shrug has the 1 health advantage. We'll see if that's able to get anything. Good positioning here. Playing it slow. Tokyo has sights of Shrug, has to reload though. Oh, it's a dance. It's a dance between these two members, and who's gonna take the lead? It's Tokyo taking down Shrug through a quick little wall bang, and that is first round up. There is time to get the defuse, and that's 1-0 for FIU.
Yeah, that was so close. 1v2 situation there. They weren't double swinging together, which really gave an opportunity back to Shrug to try to win out that round. And Shrug's decision there was to try to play for the kill by positioning out in the open. And because Shrug wasn't able to find that kill there, has to try to fall back, and the running frenzy from that range is just too strong, and the 16 HP prevails.
Yeah, 16 versus 17 HP diff, but 16 will take over 17, and now is the 1-0, and Waterloo still, though, looking to take down FIU, but they are going to play a little slower this time, a little more default positions. Hopefully they're going to have someone watching that flank for Tokyo, because it actually does look like Tokyo and Plaza are looking to push up here. Or sorry, Waffle is actually on the Sova this time, as he's going to drone out, and that is followed directly by Tokyo, who is again, Kip not finding the shots there on the Tokyo, and now Kip might have found himself in a very strange position because Waffle has the Spectres. Waffle doesn't just have the Spectres, has 3 kills. 4-5 by the Chinese Shrug, and that's 4-1 for FIU.
Yeah, and Vex is going to be able to recover the spike here, and a Spectre fakes the sound cues going towards the site here, and it wanted that, but Tokyo did, and Torify is going to be able to clean that one up.
And that's just a really unlucky position for Waterloo to be in. They're down on the economy. Obviously, they want to save up for that buy rifle round on 3, so that means that they're buying into these pistols in the second round, and that means Waffles just gets to spray and pray, and that's 3 kills already on the side for FIU, and the rest of the round should just be a pretty easy sweep for them as well. And that means that, again, it's Waterloo down 2-0 against FIU here.
Yeah, but if you're FIU, you can't get complacent, because that's what happened in the map before, even with a 6-1 lead. So they really got to turn up here and make sure that if they have a lead, they hold it back down. And there it is. Waffle not wasting any time. Gets 2 tags and a kill, excuse me, and a tag onto Kip. And so that's a tremendous value coming out from your Hunter's Fury, and puts them in a really pretty position here.
And now Waterloo has to be really careful with how they play this. Vex is just actually looking to aggress onto that A side. Could potentially find a pick here if the timing is right onto Torify. Yes, that is 1 down. Actually, though, unluckily, Kip peeked straight into Tokyo, and that does mean a gun could have to go over to FIU. Grim, though, looking to trade this out. Doesn't find the kill yet, but will secure it in the end. Chinese Shrug finds Waffle in that mid area. Now the man advantage goes over to Waterloo. They have 3. It looks like they're going to go for that C site. Instead, a turret will find out someone in the mid side, but now Waterloo has a chance to find their first round in this map too.
Yeah, Waterloo Very nice position here, winning the rifle back, just what you want to see, but at the same time, FIU are going to get some pretty good damage here, and those guns are actually in recoverable positions if they do opt to try to go for them, but it looks like they're going to try to just go for more eco damage instead of recovering those guns and saving them over. All three members here, I think, have Spectre, or both members have Spectres here, and they're going to be looking to go for this one. They're going to invest that Astra Star as well into the Nebula to smoke off Silong, where it looks like Waterloo are going to be spamming from.
Yeah, but you've got 2 stars on there on that bomb, and you've got gravity wells from that Astra, and if no one's on flank and everyone's shooting at you from that long position, it's going to be so hard to get this defuse. Plaza finds one, but Vex trades out Minari, and now that's a 3K for Vex, and that's good round secured for Waterloo, and that puts them on the board.
Yeah. FIU, though, doing a splendid job of doing eco damage there. It's going to force guns to be repurchased back up into this round, and it looks like Chinese Shrug is even going to be sitting on the light armor, and Kip sitting on a Bulldog as well. So it's a really solid round for FIU, and it's kind of the same situation that we saw on the map previous. The only difference is these teams will probably adapt a little bit quicker on Haven than Icebox, since the map is more traditional like.
Yeah, and you know, now that Haven they've played, you know, 3 of these rounds so far, we're gonna see if the other team can find an adaptation advantage over the other, as Rimhold will come down. She catches Vex, so maybe not what Waterloo would have wanted, because now Vex gets blinded out, has to use both of those cloud bursts to hide themselves. Now abilities come out. Sorry, actually, I realized now I said Brimhold, but I actually meant Breach. But that does mean that Waterloo does get on site and gets that spike planted down. And back position, gets spotted up by the drone. Term finds one, Minari trades it out, Kip finds another. It's the 4-on-3 for Waterloo. Vex could actually die here, gets shot through the box, gets finished off by a shock dart. Now that's 3 members of Waterloo, actually 2 members in this long side, and actually looks like Shrug could have a big flank here if FIU's not careful. The timing, the patience, finds one. Waffle, but the defuse is still potentially going down. No, gets stopped, and Light takes it down, but Tokyo finds 2, and now it's the 1-on-1. The dash comes up, but Tokyo doesn't know where Chinese Shrug is, and that means the Blade Storm is going to be for nothing as Chinese Shrug gets the 2nd round for Waterloo. It's all tied up.
Wow, what a great round from Waterloo there. They were trying to play Smoke Spam Simulator Part 2, but little did they know Chinese Shrug slugging in the back there is going to be able to find the Waffle looking the wrong way at the smoke, and because of that, Chinese Shrug was able to win out that round, even though Tokyo found 2 towards C-Long there.
And now Waterloo definitely must be feeling a little more. The economy is in their hands. They've got the rifles, whereas FIU's only got those pistols. So we are going to see what the plan is here. They're playing a more default position, though. It is just Chinese Shrug actually pushed way up into that mid-B area, actually, though. Could potentially find a cheeky little pick here, but for the rest of Waterloo, it's just default positions. That same old push and pull of information as the drone comes out for Light. We'll tag out Waffle, and still a slow game for now.
Horrify is going to actually be able to find Vex there, peeking sewers by themselves, and that's not a situation you want to be in if you're in Waterloo. That's an advantageous fight for you with multiple players there to take that fight. But they're going to be scaling on to C now with the Astra Wall being used, as well as a couple of
Yeah, you're going to clear that backside so you can hopefully get the push without contest, but even though they do take taken down, actually Tokyo coming up big, getting another 2 kills as the Cosmic Divide finally settles itself in, but now it's the 1-on-3 for Shrug. He has no spike, he has no team, he's all by himself in this garage position. That's a cold and lonely place to be, because now you have to go into this 1-on-3. Could potentially actually find Waffle here. It finds the angle right. Waffle doesn't connect the shots. That's 1 down for Chinese Shrug. Starts to take down 2 though. This could be a monumental task, because do you know if Tokyo's not there? Tokyo will see your feet before you can see him, but it doesn't matter because Plaza's got the kill instead, and that's the 3rd round over for FIU.
Yeah, and that is a terrible round if you're Waterloo. You have gun advantage going into an eco. You lose one, a first blood over at the A site when you had 4 players towards that lobby garden position. and then afterwards you try to go towards C, but so much utility being invested at the top of the siege choke, and they can't quite get through and just get fully spammed out, running through a slow, running through a jet cloud burst when the initial utility that they use wasn't able to find it.
Get out of my way!
Waterloo's gonna have to make a comeback here. VALORANT doesn't make a comeback. It's already big. You're watching that game right now, but now it's Waterloo pushing Garage. Gonna look to find anything. The wall comes out from Minari, so there's gonna be no completion yet. Gonna be able to hold this for now. Now Waterloo to back off. They're still around that big side. Actually, everyone just trading shots through this door. 4-5 finds the first. Might actually get taken down here. Is that an Ares in the hand of Light? Yes, it is. And shot not finding anything yet, though. Kip finding one in mid, but 4-5 finds another through that door. Garage, not sure what Waterloo was looking for there. Maybe a trade, but it doesn't go in their hands. And now Waffle finds Vex that middle, or in that B site, sorry. And now it's 3-on-2 for FIU.
Light, 4 bullets in the area. He's gonna take this fight, and oh, Chinese Shrug is taken down instead of it. Light kind of just accidentally positioning in the crosshairs there, and that's gonna put them up 4-2 exactly. And Waterloo need to adapt once again, but we know for sure that we shouldn't count this team out. They know how to adapt, whether that be a little slow, but this time around, I also want to see FIU don't give any grounds. Then whatever works, you keep to it here. And what's really working for FIU is that push and pull game, especially when they're going into the Sage utility. You started off with the wall, you throw the slow work, and then you regress onto B. That aggressive play is what's giving FIU the advantages here. And that recon dart is going to signal that they're giving up space towards A, and the rotations are already shifting back over.
Yeah, and I think actually, even though Waterloo still is not out of the game yet, that was probably the first really shaky round we saw from them. Not really sure what the plan there was with Garage. It just looks like they were taking turns, taking pot shots into that Garage, looking for something, but ended up more or less empty-handed because they get taken out one by one, not really being able to trade back, and that eventually caused them to lose the round here. And now it looks like they're definitely going for a much slower play style, obviously because the economy is not in place, but Kip will find the first kill there with that sheriff. And that's pretty good. Oh, Tokyo, that's not what you want to be dashing into, because that's 2 members of Waterloo, and now that's Waterloo pushing up onto A site.
Horrified to be able to find back to the site, Kip's going to be able to get that kill. That's going to be a fault line. It's going to stop the push for Plaza and Minari. And I don't know if we really want to be going into a 2v5 retake. With Minari, though, able to connect the headshot onto Light there. Kip's going to have the aftershock stalled even longer if need be there. But I do not think they're going to be going for this contest, especially with Yasher Nebula going up as well. But they are going to be going out for this. There's the aftershock. They're going to be pushing out fast. Britain's going to find the first on Minari, and Plots didn't even go with Minari there.
A bit of a miscommunication maybe, but now Fox is going to peek anyways. It could just cost them their life. Not sure what the plan is there between those last 2 members of FIU. Maybe a bit of miscommunication. We'll never know. But what we do know is that Waterloo gets another round for themselves, and it's pretty solid. I mean, they were down in the economy. You know, they had just lost the round in a pretty tough way, and now they're able to come back. Economy's picking up again, swinging in their favor because now they have that round win. And again, all about momentum. Can they carry it forward? That's the big question, and you know that's going to be answered now as we head into the 8th round.
Yeah, and when you have 2 alive against 5, I don't really think it's the best idea to go for a retake, especially on the A site, the hardest site to retake on Haven. And they're really just throwing their lives away at that point, so they won't be having too much economy for this round. The gas rock towards mid, but Tokyo with the aggression. Once again, you live by the aggression, you die by the aggression. And that's really how FIU really like to play this.
Sorry if you guys caught that laugh on Mike there, but that is Odin kills for Light, picking up that big freaking gun, firing it all the way into members of FIU, and that is the man advantage for Waterloo. Still, Light even not sure if even he knows how that possibly worked, but I guess that's 3,600 in the bank, and that's 2 kills in the bank as well, so you must be feeling pretty good for those 2 kills. But again, the plan for Waterloo is looking towards that A side now. Not sure if FIU has the manpower or the utility contested. And they don't even have anyone on that A side, but it's actually like kind of a stalemate of a game right now. So Waterloo actually going to invest that Rolling Thunder to get onto that A side, even when there's no one there, but obviously they don't know that, and that is going to secure the plant, and that's 4 members of Waterloo Still alive. Actually, Chinese Shrug on this flank again could be huge. Could actually meet two members. Finds one. Can't find the second. No, but a one kill for Chinese Shrug is still big because that means it's a 4-on-2 for FIU to take back.
One enemy remaining.
And Chinese Shrug able to finish off Minari as well. Is going to probably steal this round, and this time Waffle doesn't want anything to do with the A site retake and opting to save the Vandal for the next round. A very smart decision here, and that's going to put the situation back into a 4-4. And once again, FIU's aggression is being read. That's 2 or 3 rounds in a row, I believe, where the first round was Sova aggressing down A, being, and then this time aggressing down mid. Tokyo and Torify being here. There was no need for Torify to re-aggress after Tokyo got that first kill, and because of that, it might have cost them that round there.
Yeah, and I mean, that round there is just Chinese Shrug finding that timing again, right, that there. Positioning to get those huge flanks in the post-plant scenario. That's the second time now. We're gonna see if, you know, if FIU is going to be able to adapt to that, because a lurker is really can weigh pretty heavily on your minds, especially if you don't know exactly where they can be. Chinese Shrug is looking pretty slippery right now. Has the flash though. They could find something here. Only get one, gets trading out. And actually, it's Waterloo that comes ahead of this aggressive play for FIU. FIU not finding maybe the value they had hoped for when they had sent out that guiding light at the beginning, and that's Waterloo with that man advantage again.
Yeah, once again, the aggression not working for FIU. And Waterloo should be able to take this site quite freely unless Tokyo comes up big, but such great utility usage from the side of Waterloo is going to force them back. And Tokyo's just going to have to sit in the smoke, but Tokyo's going to go through and go for the right click, but it's not going to connect onto Prim there. And 3v4 retake once again. We'll just see how Waterloo's positioned here. Yeah, Odin.
Oh man, and that's the second right click that Tokyo hasn't found value in, and you have to think if you're going to invest a Blade Storm, I know you have to peek blindly coming out of that smoke, but losing that so early is really devastating, because now that means again, Waterloo has this side, and Waffle almost contested for a second. Still a chance for FIU because they still have Tokyo up, but getting recon, Odin getting taken down, and that's another big gun kill for Light, and that's another round over to Waterloo.
Yeah, and it's been a very good return on investment here. Light and the Odin, every single round consistently finding kills, whether that be wallbangs or not, and that's a really good gun to have when everything is a paper-thin wall on Haven.
And I mean, just the sound of it shooting imposingly at your team has got to do a quick chip off the mental for FIU. Hopefully they'll be able to gather it together, though. They're still not out of the game yet. I mean, this game has not been going on for that long, but it still feels so intense. Probably because it is. It's so close. The score is still 4-5, but Waterloo looking like they have a bit more of that momentum coming out. I mean, Waffle investing the Hunter's Fury here, potentially looking for that early A push, but not finding anything, and gets traded out by Chinese Shrug. That's a huge hit there, because if Kip finds his kill, no, but Vex finds the trade. Waterloo, again, has the man advantage. They take out that Hunter's Fury. Now Minari will even it out with that Resurrection, but that's two ults invested. If Waterloo wins this round, that is another huge dent for FIU.
Yeah, Chinese Shrug, finding those timings, walking up mid, getting that pick. It's gotta be really tough. They're just only running Sage, and Vex with the huge flick onto Torify, and then finding this. What a great timing for Vex there, able to connect that one, and that's just gonna probably seal the deal for this round here if Waterloo are able to play their numbers correctly. But Plaza able to trade back onto Light, who's just spamming Heaven there. Waffle with the recon dart into sight is gonna be able to find one, probably Vex though, coming out huge.
Cosmic Divide, shutting the slicing the site in half. I can't speak English, but because Vex is on fire. Vex getting the ace in this round, and that is going to be the 6th round for Waterloo. And right now, they are looking like an indomitable force, like Breach's also rolling thunder across FIU. And, you know, the Light picking up an Odin again. And now FIU is really scrambling to pick up the pieces off the floor to try to find a way to get back into this game.
Yeah, and this is just Vex's world, and we're all living in it. Vex is showing up huge with the big statement ace there. That great entry onto the A site, stopping anyone from coming through that smoke. Getting 2 headshots instantly there, and giving those numbers situation, and that's all it really is. Vex once again, as we speak about this world that we are living in, finds Torify off the entry right when barriers drop on.
And Tor invested the Seekers. They're probably wanting to get the information head before FIU to potentially do something with it, but all that means is that you're there to get traded because you're out in the open. Chinese Shrug finds another kill, so does Vex, but Minari actually is there to trade with the Sheriff. 2 quick taps with the head, and this could stall Waterloo's push right now. But still, that's another ult invested out. That's Waffle getting on the flank, and Minari not connecting the shots here either. We'll finally find it on Light, and that's actually Minari coming up big, but it's the 2-on-1. You're at 37 health. Yes, you're Sage. You have the heal coming up soon, but you've got a Marshall. You'll pick up a Phantom soon enough. But can Minari find something here? Because that would be huge. But the investment from FIU has already been massive. Waterloo, though, still looking like they're in a pretty good position to take this round.
Yeah, so much insurance on the side of Waterloo. You got the double nano swarms on the spike, a fault line as well to stall even more. And then on top of that, if you really need, you've got the rolling thunder and the lockdown. So I'm gonna call it right now that I'm not gonna. But I'm really good at caster cursing, so we're gonna see if it does end up happening here. Minari clearing all these close angles, working up towards the spike. First nano sword being popped to just stall for a little bit.
Yeah, and if you're Minari here, you're coming all the way over from C site. You have to check every angle because you don't know where anyone is. You have to go through all of this utility, and that's fine. Breach dying there, it's not optimal, but Shrug baiting with the gun. Dave's taken down, but there's no time. Shrug, you can't do that. No, that's devastating. Minari finds the ace, but it doesn't matter. That's another round over to Waterloo.
Last round before
Sorry,
the switch.
Shrug with a little bit of BM right there at the very end, knowing that Minari has to stick the spike, throws the gun to maybe get them off, and then sacrificing their life for it. But I guess Waterloo does have the economy for that. But nonetheless, it was a little bit BM.
Right there.
But
right
now
there.
we're in a 4-7 situation. Light repurchasing that Odin that Light's been finding so much value from, and Minari 2 off the resurrection here as well.
Yeah, but remember that VALORANT is also a mental game as well, and FIU is starting to sweat. You have to be feeling the pressure now because, again,
You should run.
Waterloo is just looking like they've got the reads on the plays right now, and they've got the shots to back it up. Now, the attacker Killjoy is going to get... the attacker lockdown is going to get invested from Chinese Shrug. So it does look like they're going to be pushing. This B site actually... all members of FIU are going to have to back off, and that means Prim is going to get that spike plant down. But this is the first B site attack that we've seen so far. We're going to see how well it pans out. The Rolling Thunder to cancel. Maybe a little early, but we'll see how it pans out because Tokyo finds Chinese Shrug on the flank, actually. Now it's the Odin coming out actually for Light, but Plaza finds 2, and this could be FIU's return to form because that is a flawless round for them. They get the spike defuse, and they are back on the board.
Wow, that all happened so quickly. So what the strategy was for the side of Waterloo is to plant the spike on the right side of B, and when you're sitting in sewers, there's actually a spam spot from where Light is towards the spike. But Light goes for the shots onto Waffle, and instead of letting Waffle walk past, means that Light can't spam from that position anymore. And because of that, it's very difficult to get back onto the B site when they're defusing if you don't have utility or some sort of way to get through that smoke, because that Astra smoke makes it very difficult to run through, and you're blind spamming from multiple positions, and at the same time the retake's coming out. So we got players funneling out of garage, players coming through from A, and they just found every kill in that round at the same time.
Yeah, and let's be honest. I mean, that's a cheeky play. You know, that's a 13-1 domination kind of play. And if you're Waterloo, I don't know if you can afford to give up rounds like that in that way. Like we said earlier, it happened on Icebox. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, that's how, you know, FIU ended up giving up their first round when they were going, you know, 6 and I think 1 on Icebox. And you know, Waterloo adapted. They were trying to look for a fun way to maybe take another round away from FIU with a cheeky little strat, but that means the FIU picks up another round, and it's still a close game. It's only 5-7. It's not like Waterloo is completely stomping right now, so they have to be careful, but they get on that, and now FIU gets on that ace site on this pistol round in the second half, and, you know, now Waterloo are man down. They have to retake this site.
Yeah, man down, but the retake shouldn't be too bad for the utility that they have. Very good stage as well, and the crossfire is going to reign true for the side of FIU there. this situation, it really helped out. So Waterloo are able to take this one, or not Waterloo, excuse me, FIU are able to take that round over with the great post plant setup that they had there, and they're going to be purchasing into this round. Torify with the Phantom.
And, you know, it looks like FIU, especially with this Phantom buy, look like they want to keep the ball rolling. They definitely want this second half to go mostly their way. Now, Prim is going to block off. With that Nebula Smoke, going to take it down early, potentially looking to peek for that. That's 5 people, Prim. And I don't know if you're ready for that, because you certainly are not, because now you're getting shot by a Phantom. Maybe you weren't expecting that gun either. Now, FIU gets a great position on this post plan. They've got people watching flank. They've got people potentially on side. Actually, no, it looks like they're just going to go for a straight long hold with 5 members, but Waterloo only has pistols. How do you take back this round when they've got Phantoms and Spectres? You know, kind of like that. Kip just gets gunned down in the open, and Vex can only sit there and watch as Breach's body falls down to the floor cold, and that looks like what Waterloo may have to go into the second half with. Cold start. Vex does find the trade. That's 1 kill up, but gets taken down by Minari, and FIU sitting pretty good.
Yeah, FIU have got this round in the play now. So making sure you don't lose any members out. And it's just light on the site. The Shorty is not even going to be able to find Tokyo. Tokyo, just the Sheriff, wants to run in there and find the eco frames.
Yeah, and I mean, that doesn't even cost you that much. You only have the Sheriff there. It's not like you're giving up the Phantom and the Spectre, but, you know, FIU hitting back with Waterloo's little cheeky play there with the Odin. They're going to fight back, and they're going to dash forward with that Sheriff to get the kill on Light. And again, that's what I'm saying with Waterloo. You got to be careful here. Even though it was the last round in the first half, you kind of cut your momentum short when you give FIU a round. Now they're mental. They're gathering back up. Like I said earlier, they have to pick up the pieces, and if they pick it up, can't speak English, and they start forming it into something that can beat you, you have to be really careful. So now FIU, again, going to continue to look the ball rolling. They look super good in that second round in the second half, so going to see how they carry it forward. Now they're looking like they're going to go for that B execute. Here come the smokes, here come the flash, the wall, the plant, everything, and now it's going to be the retake for Waterloo.
Yeah, and that spike goes down in the nick of time to give the dash back away from Tokyo, and now it's going to be the smoke fan in. Oh, Garage Spam first, though. Excuse me. Tokyo finding 1. Shiny Shrug right back. Light down on the flank as well. 1-for-1 trade outside there, and now it's just all down to Plaza, and there's not a chance that Plaza's going to be able to recover this one. Nice retake from Waterloo from all angles. The garage push and the A push, and that was kind of the same situation that happened when Waterloo went for the B plant, and I think it's just really clean execution where Waterloo had 2 pushing out of A and 2 pushing out of garage, and they got their trades down.
And I mean, Waterloo plays like they're not worried at all here. I mean, going into the second round, sure, they lost 2 rounds, but I mean, look at the end celebration. Waterloo looks like they're having a jolly old time right now. And again, not to say that they shouldn't enjoy that, but you have to be careful. Valorant is a mental game, and mental just doesn't mean destroying the enemy's mental. It means keeping your mental, you know, focused. And if Waterloo plays a little too cheeky, which to be fair, that round wasn't, that was some solid gameplay, but gonna see how Waterloo keeps playing this round out here. Hopefully, they're gonna be able to keep it composed. And for FIU, they definitely want to maybe start taking back again, because they, you know, they had it hot for 2 rounds and then it went cold in this third. So for the 4th, they want to take it again and they want to keep it rolling. As I always say, momentum. You know, and right now it could be anyone's. You know, it's still in the middle ground. Both have taken and lost rounds in the second half. So gonna see how this round plays out, and I think it'll be very crucial.
Yeah, and Waterloo's going to opt for the retake here, even though it's a 5v5 situation, and they had 2 players towards A. Drones are going to pass each other in the night sky, and that's a beautiful tag onto Tokyo. Vex converting that kill as well. Amazing initiator play there. Minari going to be putting down that spike, and now it's the second Hunter's Fury coming out from Light, and that's going to force Minari out into the open. Vex converting that kill, and Light playing with Waffle there, killing Waffle as well. And this is a very good retake for Waterloo, just off the back of Light's ability.
Yeah, and that double peek there to secure the kill on Torify. He finds 1, but now it's all up to Plaza. And I really like that Hunter's Fury coming out in combination with Vex peeking from heaven, while the members of FIU were trying to dodge those giant beams of destructive thunder. They have to also watch out for Vex, who's just firing away from heaven uncontested. And now that they've taken this round, Waterloo, again, sitting pretty, feeling pretty comfortable with the economy, feeling pretty hot on their toes. And, you know, we're worried for, I guess maybe I was worried about in the beginning that Waterloo was going to look a lot shakier in the second half. But now they've pulled it back. They've got the guns in their hands and looking pretty strong. Again, FIU, got to pick up the pieces again. They're scattering a bit more. We've seen glimmers of hope for them. They've showed up and they've shown that they can take rounds away from Waterloo. But can they do it now, especially when their economy is such a dire state?
Yeah, and my bad. I said they were playing 5v5 retake, but I didn't notice the Hunter's Fury, and that round was just light Joe. He found the tag, got Vex to kill, then kills 3 after, including the Hunter's Fury kill, and forces this situation where now FIU don't have the best guns and are forced to walk into this triple C stack with these not so great guns.
Yeah, that double nano swarm will catch off Plaza, but actually Minari and Torfire will find it. It's up to Chinese Shrug to hold this site, and Chinese Shrug will not disappoint. Takes down 2, but it's still
One
the 2
enemy
on 3.
remaining.
But again, the guns might not be there for FIU. Vex finds Waffle, but Tokyo has the blade storm out on the flank. But Vex saying this jet game is going to be mine. Takes down Tokyo. That's another round win for Waterloo. It's looking pretty dicey.
Yeah, Waterloo breaking double digits there. Textbook round. They knew they were going to be up against an eco, and they opted to go for a 3C stack. And although the fights weren't going their way at the beginning, the trades did end up working out, with Chinese Shrug finding a lot of value in that platform position. 2 headshots, and then getting Vex to come over, help him out, and then noticing that the flank could be there. So now we're going to go back into a more textbook-like round. It's going to be Torfire that's going to go for the solo fake towards B here with the Sky Flash, and is going to be able to find Kid here. This is huge.
Actually finds Prim as well, and yes, this could be big for FIU. Off the back of Torfire's play, they could actually get their foot back in the door here. Torfire actually Chinese Shrug. No, the timing has to look away though, because Waffle is also on site, and that means Chinese Shrug will go down as well, and now it's all up to Vex. Vex has been playing super well this game, but a 1v4 is still a 1v4. FIU would have to try really hard to mess this up, but Vex, whereabouts unknown for now, creeping into this garage. The spike plant will go down. Could actually find the angle on Torfire here. Yep, that's 1. Count him on the board for Vex, because this is still Valorant. Anything can happen, and that's why we love this game. Vex is actually getting slowed down. This could slow down the process a little bit. Let's wait for this, as Vex has to hide in the smoke, and FIU's going to play this long angle. I'm not sure what Vex can do here, Bowser.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. Double Cloud Burst means that he can fake 1 tap at least, but it's just only going to be traded out by the Gravity Well. And there's a second one, but also gets pinged by the dart there, and that should be the Vex's life, is those pings are not stopping, and Minari cleans that one up, and it's going to be 8 to 10, excuse me, for the side of Waterloo. And so it's going to be a really tough situation, but Waterloo really need to convert this round if they don't want to go back on.
Yeah, and Torfied taking that round into his own hands, pushing up into that B site, finding 2 picks, and off the back of that, all of a sudden, Waterloo is thrown into chaos, because now all of a sudden they don't have the manpower to hold all the angles necessary. Shrug has to peek both places at once, and unless you have eyes on the back of your head, that is not a position that you are going to be advantaged. Shrug goes down, and the rest of the round is more or less going FIU's way, and, you know, again, you get the ball rolling though. 1 round is only 1 round. Can you transfer it into something more? Waterloo still has the guns to contest you for now, and Light not just has the guns, has the kill on Minari, and that's the first blood for Waterloo. Now, Cosmic Divide coming up for FIU here on this A site. And I actually like this. Both Tokyo and Torfire hiding around this divide and peeking out of it, finding Kip. But it's still the 4-on-4, and this lockdown could be big. Chinese Shrug finds one. It's even bigger. Cosmic Divide even bigger, because this Waterloo is investing everything. They want this round to be theirs. Vex finding the knives, tailwinding through. Sorry, dashing through. That is actually tailwind, and almost finding Tokyo. There it is, and that's Light off the back of it, finding Waffle as well. That's the spike defuse. That's another round over for Waterloo, investing 3 ults, but getting the results.
Yeah, what a retake from Vex there. That was just the pure mechanical skill coming through. finding the back of Torify, who is trying to push in to destroy the lockdown. And because that gets prevented, Vex knows that every other player should be retreating towards either sewers or long, and just dashes through that cosmic divide, catching Tokyo off guard. And even though they whiffed since Tokyo didn't even have the gun out, gives Vex a chance to shoot back, and Vex wins that duel there between the Jets. And from there, Waterloo was able to clean up the rest of the kills and retake that situation with the ultimates that were contested.
And we've seen some iffy jet dashes these two matches. Not to say that we haven't, but somehow that Vex's way finds the kill there. Waffle will actually find Vex, traded out by Chinese Shrug. Holding the back of B side, it does look like that the execute is potentially for a B side for FIU, but now Tokyo looking to aggressively push into this garage perhaps. But do you know that Prim is there? No, you don't. Now you get taken down. Waffle and Minari still out there, and actually Plaza found himself into the C site. Minari walks into garage to get the trade, and now it's the 2-on-2. Light and Chinese Shrug against Minari and Waffle. Waffle's really low, but it doesn't matter because Light is caught in there, waving himself around, and that is a round over to FIU.
Yeah, really messy round from the side of Waterloo. You could see that all the players there died in that little hallway choke garage. They didn't really have a lot of space to work with, but you gotta use your utility and push out through one way. Because if you leave two openings, and they abuse both openings, which is exactly what FIU did perfectly there, they're going to be shooting you from a 180-degree angle, making it very mechanically difficult for you to shoot back if they're pinching from both sides there.
And I mean, I really think that there was really nowhere for the Waterloo players in garage to go. I mean, Plaza had speedily crept up in C and had the angles, and once the players in garage were distracted trying to kill Plaza, that meant Minari could just swing on by with that Spectre and confirm the second kill, and all of a sudden the rest of the hole just falls apart for Waterloo, and it's an easy round for FIU. And now they have a chance to start taking the lead in these rounds. They want to start pushing what they can here, but it does look like that they are going to get onto site. Actually, it looks like Waterloo's going to play for retake, but actually that's Waffle on the flank, and this could be big if Prim is not careful, could get caught out, but Waffle caught looking the wrong way at the worst time. Bowser, you've said it before. VALORANT is sometimes a game of timing, and for there, Prim has better timing, but Vex actually finds Torify. I cannot believe that actually happened, because I thought Vex was for sure dead. And now it's two members of FIU, caught in a very strange place. Actually, Vex taking a bit of fall damage there. We don't talk about that. But FIU has to be very careful here with how they play it. Plaza looking the wrong way. Minari finds the trade, but this could be something more. Walling off the other end. Minari not finding the kill on Prim, but Prim not finding it either. Looking to spike down Prim, hopefully looking to cancel it. Yes, actually cancels it with the gravity well, and now they can just waste time. Waterloo doesn't have to push here. They can just slowly let the clock run down, because Minari has to plant. Another gravity well goes down. Minari has to plant here, but he's pushing up, finds the kill. That's match point for Waterloo.
Yeah, Waterloo here. 9-12, very pretty. Lots of time and lots of rounds to work with. And beyond that, not a great buy coming out from FIU. So this is their best chance to really close things out here. As when it's an eco for the side of attack, it's a little bit difficult to really find those opening picks and get in, but they do have two ultimates to work with, so I do expect FIU to invest those early so that they don't die with these ultimates. And this is going to be the drone looking for that Hunter's Fury kill.
Thunder comes out for Kip in the beginning. The Nebula smoke doesn't block up any push there. Waffle though will trade an ult for an ult. Hunter's Fury, but not for value. Actually, no, finding Kip, sorry. Tokyo pushes into the smoke, actually finds Prim, and that is man advantage for FIU, but Shrug could come up big here, but no, Tokyo's on the flank. Chinese Shrug saying, where the heck did you come from? And now Tokyo has the advantage here. Could find Light. Vex, though, could actually be in a position to pinch. Light actually finds the kill. This is still doable for Waterloo, but again, long hold, always hard to contest, especially when it's Sova and Astra who are still alive, who have those long-range lineups to work with. So Waterloo have to play it really carefully here.
Light with some counter shocks to line it up. And Vex falling off the top site means that they've got to go for the tap here. Vex is going to stick half here. Madman gets it. Light, though, isn't going to be able to win that fight into Minari, and Vex is now in 1v3, and Minari cleaning that one. Almost a dicey situation, tagging up all the players on the side of FIU, but off the back of the two ultimates, they're able to convert that round of a not such a great buy.
Yeah. FIU there, they find, you know, the kills there to make it work, and all of a sudden we haven't really seen anyone be able to contest that long, you know, post-plant hold just yet. And especially, again, when you're talking about an Astra with that gravity well, it's going to be really hard now. To be fair, Vex does get it to half, like you said, a bit of a mad lad there, actually sticking it, and the shot's not connected for FIU, but once the cloud burst goes down, Light gets taken down as well. It's really, really hard because you're a jet. It's not like you can really blind or find even any way to contest. Move your mouse immaculately quickly, but Vex taking down Tokyo, who had the Blade Storm out, and that is a big pick. Now, Minari getting the res on Tokyo, but that's no shields on him, and that's no ult either. Vex has to peek here to potentially find something back, and Torfai not able, Torfai able to secure that kill, and now that is FIU on the A site looking to plant the spike. Tokyo takes down Kip, and it's 3 against 5 retake for Waterloo. Like, looking to drop here, knows where the default plan is, finds one, but gets taken down in return. Chinese Shrug up into heaven. Prim still on that plant, or in that, that flank side, but getting held off. Not knowing where any of the enemy positions are. Finds Torfai, but not able to land the shots. Maybe these shots for Torfai. Getting really close.
Yeah, one final map point to work with for Waterloo here, and this is FIU putting everything out on the line here, trying to take down the #1 seed of Waterloo right now, and they're doing a pretty damn good job of it. Minari off the back with 24 frags, leading the charge as a sentinel, and showing that the team that there is a chance and there might be a light at the end of this tunnel. Here we are in the default situation. They're gonna be looking for mid control here early.
And this time, they definitely, the pressure's on for both teams. FIU to keep themselves in this match, to keep themselves in this series, to trigger that overtime. Waterloo to shut it down where it stands and to take this series 2-0. Still is another potential map in play, but Waterloo really wants that. And Chinese Shrug gets tagged out, kills the Trailblazer. The B-side execute could look good for now, but now the storm comes out. Chinese Shrug gets first blood against Tokyo, and that actually gives Chinese Shrug the lockdown. This could be huge. Torf finds a pick on Prim in Garage, but the lockdown is coming down. That prevents the B-side execute, but that's okay because FIU is still in Garage, and they're going to push out. Waffle's not going to find anyone yet. Actually gets blinded out by the Brim, and Vex finds the wall bang into Waffle, and now it's the 3 members of FIU rotating over to that A site.
Concealment.
44 seconds left on the clock. Does Waterloo have any stall utility for the plant here? Don't think so. No Molly lineups coming out through, so the Minari is going to get a full plant here. And Vex is going to go upstairs with the double updraft, and Torfai is going to be able to find that kill. Very aware of what could be happening there. Plaza being pinged out by this recon drone as well. And Plaza able to find that kill onto Chinese Shrug, turning away from hiding Light. They know that Plaza's in a brilliant position, but Plaza is going to be able to find that, and Torfai getting the last one onto Light. And now, ladies and
Switching sides. Overtime.
Overtime is triggered. You said that light at the end of the tunnel is appearing, and that light is getting brighter and brighter. Now it's both teams having to duke it out in that overtime.
I gotta visit the Astro to play.
It's really anyone's game, because now in overtime, you get a set amount of money, and it's more or less how you play. You switch attacking and defending, and you know, it definitely looked like Waterloo was a lot stronger on that attack side. You know, and now that you know, they were pretty even for both, but it definitely looked like they were able to get the momentum more consistent on that attacker side. So now that they are back there, we're going to see how they're going to be able to open up this overtime. We're going to see if they're going to be able to get the advantage from the get-go.
And it looks like it's going to be a 5x towards the A site, but there are 3 members of the side of FIU to slow this down. Waffle being pushed off that angle. Wow, what a great aftershock coming out, and Kip's going to be able to get that trail. Waffle finding 1 kill, there's already huge enough, and That's going to be a 4v4 situation, and Waterloo are going to opt to rotate out, predicting that the rotations have already come through towards the A site.
Kip, the goal of that man to sit there in that smoke and take that orb. But that does mean that you're ever closer to a rolling thunder, which has been pretty huge on the rounds that it's been used. Take some of these sites for Waterloo. So we are going to see what they're going to do now, though. Waterloo, again, they have that timer working against them. Still 50 seconds. That's still quite a bit of time, but Chinese Shrug could actually find maybe something here. It is 4 against 4, so it's still decently even, but that is Torify all the way on the C site. So if Waterloo goes for an A site execute, that is Torify who will have to rotate all the way there. But now both teams just holding angles. And when you're holding angles, it's the attackers that have to make the first move because they've got the timer working against them. Kip's gonna push out, but Tokyo shutting that down, finding 2, pushing short, finds the 3rd for Kip, and now it's Light against Torify, pulls out the recon dart, but now you have to go for something here because it does look like you're in a dicey Light. There's no saving here, so 12 seconds left. What more can you find? Be sure. 5 seconds on the clock. Timer's gonna tick down, hoping to find Torify, but no dice. That is first overtime round over to FIU.
Yeah, I don't agree with the decision that Waterloo made there.
Match point.
They had Light Lurk instead of Chinese Shrug, which makes a little less sense to me than having the reverse, because Light's got that recon dart that can really give you access to the site and clear out lots of angles, especially with the particular darts that you can do with Sova there, whereas Chinese Shrug can't really get you into that site, and the first point of contact is to get into that site before you can get the spike down and hold it down. So because of that situation, it's really awkward if 3 players on the side Waterloo aren't able to push in, but Kip is going to find this kill on Torify that Torify should have probably converted.
That recon dart does really matter. They already know Kip is hiding there. He has the utility to get himself out. Easy peasy, no problem there. The small line will keep himself safe. Trim finds another kill. Can't convert it into Minari, but still the man advantage for... Nope, never mind. Chinese Shrug gets taken down. It's 3-on-3.
Yeah, and Tokyo finding a really nice timing into mid there. Able to get access like that, but because of this access and timing, that Tokyo also finds 2 heads on the back of it, and this means it's a free and open A site for the side of things. So many angles that they have to clear out here.
Oh, and it's trouble for Waterloo. FIU in prime position to force a 3rd map here because it's the 3-on-2. Kip is low on utility. Vex has an op against 3, but there's only 1 person on site actually, so... But, you know, again, Waterloo doesn't know that, so FIU is slowly converging, making their way there. Vex peeks into Kip, but that's your teammate. That's not an enemy player, and you don't have the angle on Minari. Now you have to jump to... Ow! I did not see that kill, but I don't know how you got it. Exactly. Get away from the... This still is potentially in the cards. Waterloo, Vex shot through. In the way. Tokyo finds 1. Gets back second. That's 3 for them. Bladestorm comes out. Light has to get 2 angles at once, and it is not going to happen. That's Kip, sorry, but... That's FIU forcing a 3rd map.
Yeah, huge round there for the side of FIU. Extending this series to the 3rd game, and it's going to be very interesting to see what map they're going to be taking it to. But before we can get there, we're going to toss it to a quick break, so make sure you don't go anywhere because we've got lots of Valorant still to be played.
I see. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Waterloo versus FIU. FIU came back in the second map on Haven to tie it up. And now we are 1-1 as we head into map 3, which is going to be Bind. And again, still with me is Bowser. We apologize for the delay, but now we're back. And Bowser, shoot me your thoughts on Bind.
Bind is a very interesting map. The teleporters is going to be the most interesting point in the map because it allows for that quick access of rotation for the attack side to go from A short to hookah, or from rotating from B long all the way back to the A site. So generally, what teams like to play on this map are either double initiator or double controller, and those are the most popular combos generally see. And I personally think that the double controller comp itself is a little bit easier to play, since there's only 4 choke points that give access to sites, where that's showers, that's short, that's hookah, and that's belong. And if you smoke off all 4 of those angles, it makes it very, very tough to get in. So generally, you would see an Omen and an Astra or a Brim sometimes even, and that just really makes it very difficult, as you're always going to be running smokes on the attack side. And I really want to see teams actually pick up the operator a little bit more. We didn't really get to see anybody use it besides a little bit on the side of the Icebox map, but Vex picking it up once in the overtime. But when your entire team's dead and you have the op, it's not really the best gun in the game. It's more so for looking for those early aggression picks. So that's what I'm in particular looking for. Do you have anything that you're also looking for as well, Bobfish?
Well, I mean, I've watched quite a few of the Waterloo games, and I'm not going to lie, historically, they've looking a little shaky on Bind. So we are 1-1 in this series. I'm not going to lie, I'm perhaps not as well informed as you are on Valorant, but I will say that, this is the third game. This is the one that decides this series. And, both teams are probably looking to end it out pretty quickly. They want this game. It's running a little late. They probably want this game to be secured in their hands. I definitely think that, yeah, like you said, we want to see, at least you want to see, and I also want to see some more ops. But I definitely think that whoever is really going to start stepping up at the beginning of the rounds are going to be the players to watch, because those are the people, and I'm talking about people like Torify, who we saw had huge plays in that last map. People like Vex, people like Kip, who were, playing really, really strong games in the first and second maps. So honestly, it could be anyone that steps up to the plate, but I definitely think that we're going to see a lot of aggression too. I definitely feel like we're going to see a lot more of an aggressive kind of play style from both of these teams as we head into Bind soon enough. We are experiencing a bit of a delay, folks, but no worries. We should be heading into Agent Select pretty soon. But yeah, it's, again, 1-1. It's really close. It could be anyone's match right now. FIU have crawled back, but so has Waterloo. Waterloo was down quite a bit in that first map on Icebox, but now FIU has taken back Haven in overtime, and they've played a lot of rounds by now. First map was close. Second map was close. Is Bind going to be close? I'm not as sure. I think that this map might go a little quicker. I definitely think that whoever gets the early momentum in this map is going to start rolling with it. And, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I definitely think that that might be the case here.
Yeah, and speaking on the aggression piece that you're just talking about, I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw the side of FIU to go for that double duelist composition instead, where they run either Reyna with a Jet or Jet Phoenix. Like, with the team of, you've got Torify that's super aggressive and Tokyo that's super aggressive. I really think that they could make that playstyle work for them on Bind if they really know where they can aggress, when they can aggress, and how they should aggress it. That's what's going to determine whether or not a double duelist comp could work. And it looks like we're going to be heading into Agent Select very shortly as the teams are loading in. And just like that, insta locks coming out from both sides. Minari sitting on that Sage once more.
Yeah, and actually looks like prediction might swing the other way around. It actually looks like it might be Waterloo who's going to go for this double duelist. Now, I do know that, in times of pressure, Waterloo has been shown to, flex a bit more on those duelists. So we might actually see Chinese Shrug here on that Jet, which I'm not sure actually if we saw today, but we have seen before. And it actually is going to be FIU going for that double duelist comp as well. So, you know, aggression, that's what we talked about in this pregame. And I guess that's what we're going to see, you know, aggression from both of these teams. They're not opting for that double control or that double controller. They're not opting for as many smokes. They have an Astra each. That does mean that Waterloo is going to have that Cypher, so that is going to be a bit of a stronger hold on the defensive side, and they are starting off in that defending side as well. So, but yeah, double duelists from both teams, so I'm expecting to see quite the aggression in this game 3.
Yeah, and I can't believe I just forgot that Raze was an Asian in this game, but Raze is actually literally the strongest duelist on this map, and I'm really interested to see how Torify is going to end up playing it, because Raze has just got that ability to solo take lanes of this map. One Boombot lineup can clear all of Hookah, combined with a nade at that Boomba spots, and towards that short position, you can throw that Boombot through the teleporter and then back it up with the paint shells as well. So Raze so good on this map, and I'm really interested to see how Waterloo are going to play without the Raze, and Torify is going to play with the Raze.
Yeah, and I mean, that Astra Gravity Well combo into, you know, the paint shells in Hookah in Shower is devastating. I mean, it's really hard to get out of there, but, you know, we're not there yet. We're in the pistol round, and Vex opens it up with a nasty little Sheriff headshot in that mid area. It's going to take down one member of FIU, but the execute is still going to go on site for now. Torify actually aggressively pushing through the smoke. Could find Chinese Shrug here, actually, who's not looking that way. Yup, Chinese Shrug, not expecting Torify to be right behind, and that's Torify finding 2. Would Vex find the trades? No, and actually FIU with this aggression, gonna find 2 sheriffs, or actually gonna find 1 sheriff, and gonna find good site position in this first round.
Yeah, they've got a perfect post plan set up. 2 in showers, excuse me. 1 wrapping back to short, 1 double. This is gonna be really tough for Light and the likes of the Cypher as well to try to bring this one back. But Kip's gonna be able to find one onto Tokyo, and Light's gonna find one onto Waffle. Kip finds Torify as well.
Oh, but time's running out, and now it's the do or die scenario. You have to stick the defuse, Kip, because that means the Plaza's gonna be able to secure it. There's no time. Light's gonna go down. No one survives the first round, but it's FIU picking up that win.
Yeah, so many mistakes at the end there for the side of Waterloo. Well, they had that one bag. They found 2-3 different isolated fights, but at the end, they're Kip whipping out the knife after tapping the spike, and then after that, a little bit of whiffs coming from the other player that was trying to hold for the spike defusal, and that just gives the opportunity and the chance needed to secure out that round for the attack side.
And now FIU, you know, they must be feeling, again, that pressure to make this advantage stick. And this time, Vex, a little bit of karma there, gets taken down as the first blood instead. And that is the man advantage for FIU as they go for another A execute, but this time they have the man advantage. Waffle's going to spot out Light hiding in this corner. You've got a shock dart, should be an easy kill along with his paint shells. Yup, that's 2-1 for FIU. Now the shorty kill, Chinese Shrug finds 1, but it doesn't matter because the rest of your team is getting taken down, and so is Chinese Shrug. And it looks like Kip is not going to be far behind because here comes 3 members. They're prowling, they're hunting. They are going to confirm that kill, and that is a 5-for-1. That's the second round up for FIU.
Yeah, FIU converting the bonus like always. They're very, very good at making sure that happens. They also don't lose too many guns there as well, so they're able to fully reinvest into this third round with 2 rifles as well as 3 Spectres. So this is a very good chance to actually win the first bonus round carrying over those Spectres. And it's going to be a little bit tough for Waterloo, but their positioning here looks pretty good with 3 on A.
Yeah, and now positioning is good, but can anything come of it? We've seen good positioning fall apart before, especially even in this best of 3. So now Chinese Shrug hidden in this smoke. The one-way Nebula is there. Gets traded by a one-way with the Cloud Burst. But this time, again, or actually, sorry, the man advantage goes over to Waterloo again. A bit of ping-pong back and forth action as the Showers kill is good for Waterloo. Now, what more can you find? Again, you're defending, though. You don't have to necessarily push anything. The onus is on the attackers to get that spike down. So FIU gonna start feeling that clock ticking down pretty soon.
Tokyo finding that big kill onto Light. Excellent crosshair placement. Shiny Shrug trades back, but... And now the barrier orb is going to go down to cover for Minari to stick that spike plant down. And Waterloo is going to be going for this retake. Nebula's running out. Barrier still up for a little while longer. Minari holding down U-Haul position. Waffle's going to find Kip on the back.
And now the situation is again looking really dicey. Vex has to find at least this kill here on Minari, but no, doesn't have the position. And now Prim is all alone in the 1-on-3, and Astra's not as good on the offense. Finds Minari. Can you find the swing onto Waffle though? No. That's 3 rounds up for FIU. They're looking hot, and they are looking to take this game 3.
Yeah, and just like we said it, the conversion of the bonus round for the first time going the way of FIU, and they're up 3-0, and just like you said it, Blobfish, Waterloo looking a little bit shaky on bind right.
Yeah, and like I said, historically, it hasn't ever been their strongest map, and could it come back to bite them in this game 3? Now, Waterloo has also shown that they are very good at coming back from impossible situations, coming back in the nick of time to clutch it out, but how much is too much? Does Waterloo still have the cards on their side today? Because for now, at least, it's looking a little dicey as the AXU comes out again. Here comes the showstopper for Torify, who's on the site. Won't find anyone. That's actually Vex that finds the kill. Will pop the Empress, but again, look at Torify. Gonna find a huge flank here. No one's watching. How could this possibly happen? Prim, where's the communication? Walks right into Torify, who finds 3. It's a disaster for Waterloo.
Yeah, Waterloo just got caught looking in the wrong directions. When you double U-Haul, you don't have to have 2 players watching the same choke. You got to have one holding the flank there, and it's the second time it's happened to them. That's the problem. It's okay if you make that first mistake, but once you make that first mistake, you got to adapt and learn from the situations. And once again, just walk through. It's going to be Kip holding the shorty here, looking for some cheeky exits, and might be able to find more than one here.
Find Plaza, but Waffle gets Kip anyways, and that's 4 rounds up for FIU. Waterloo looking to be struggling on this bind map, not able to find not even just the map itself, but they're looking a lot less coordinated. The communication is lacking there. I mean, obviously the showstopper takes space, and there's a lot of smokes in the map. It's hard to tell who's going where, but it's safe to assume that, like you said, Bowser, you don't have to watch the same angle, especially if you're double holding U-Haul. And the fact that, you know, Torify has done this play before. Waterloo not adapting as quick as they usually are. They're not that bad at it, but right now it's looking like they're having a hard time keeping up with the aggression of FIU.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I want to account it to is this Raze pick. This Raze pick is so good. This is the second time that Boombot has walked all the way through the entirety of Showers and out the other side, meaning that Showers is free map for the taking. And now Vex is being pushed out of U-Haul. There's not a lot of space that here. And Vex, though, finding a kill and Light getting a shot card onto the planner as well. Tokyo trading right back onto Shrug 4v3.
Yeah, and that plant cancel is huge because look at Kip, who has the position here. Catch 1, catch 2, that's big. Can you catch 3? But Kip's positioning is huge there. No, Tokyo catching Kip, staring right into that crosshair. Oh, this could be big from Tokyo. Only has the classic, only has 26 health. Is Vex gonna be fooled? No, you cannot fool Vex today. Not gonna take the bait, and you throw away the operator. So, oh, that's the pickup. And honestly, that bait not paying off in the way that maybe Tokyo had intended.
Yeah, I think Tokyo wasn't trying to bait the teleport because the sound is a little bit different for when the gun or a player goes through. I think Tokyo was just trying to get rid of the op so that they wouldn't try to recover it, but Vex being super aware that the gun that was thrown through the teleporter was the operator, so able to recover that gun, and now it's going to be sitting on Chinese Shrug, so we can see if Chinese Shrug is going to get any value, but it looks like he will as lots of players stack towards shorting.
Yeah, and that op could be something big here. This is not necessarily an early op, but carry power, ops command space, and ops get kills. That's 1 on the board for Shiny Shrug in this round. And now you're just going to reposition, but you have to watch for Torify because look at the gun you picked up. It's a judge. And oh, Shiny Shrug has to be careful here. Oh, you have to be so careful because it's a big gun. No, Oh, Vex finds Torfy though. Torfy finds Prim. That's not the op. Maybe that's not the target you wanted to look for here, but FIU still has 4 members. So does Waterloo. But look at Kip. Also has the so something big. It's the shot coming through. And that's 1 kill. And Kip still has space here. Finds a Phantom. This is big. The neural theft comes out. And Waterloo looking in a great position here.
Wow, excellent Nova Pulse there from Plaza. The able to kill Kip off. 3v3, but Waterloo's already up onto the site. They know Light is in this too, but Light is able to find that kill onto Tokyo. Lots of spam coming out through the tube at the same time, and Light has 2 angles. Plaza finds the timing. Vex gets the trade, and now it's 2v1 onto Waffle. Light's still not down, and Chinese Shrug cleans that one up with a quick headshot using that Blade Storm. Waterloo, 2-4.
And this is a big round for Waterloo. Actually, not sure if they kept the op there. Sorry, I was not keeping track. But again, a big round for Waterloo. A couple of close moments, but Kip with a huge, huge position in that hookah to delay the push, to pick up that Phantom, to stall. Even if he goes down in the end, stalling that time out. And on site, the trades come through properly for Waterloo. And overall, it's a big, big round. And Chinese Shrug, no longer with the op, but gonna see how Waterloo is gonna be able to pick up this game and carry it forward, because now, you know, the lead just got cut in half.
Once more, free map control towards the shower position. They've got to start adapting and breaking that boombot off though. Even if they're gonna concede showers, just to make it a little bit more of a threat. The showstopper's gonna come out for 4
Here it comes again, and this time the show is stopped for Vex, who goes out. The paint shells come out in CT. Oh, a nice shot there from Chinese Shrug, feeling hot right now. But that's one in Hookah, and you have to be careful. You have to hit those shots against the Sheriff. Oh, that's a tragedy for Kip. As now, Waterloo, the 3-on-3 still, but the spike's not down, and that means FIU gets the rotate away, and that's basically a free B site to get the plant down.
3v site, but the spike is going to be a little bit late here, but the slow orb is going to guarantee that the spike's going to make it on time, and they're going to have a very aggressive position here. Ari might be looking for this peek from elbow towards spawn off of the contact of the Astra that's holding in that cubby position.
And it looks like there's a great crossfire potential here for FIU. Plaza, only the Sheriff though, but we saw that the damage can be dealt with it. Someone's got to be watching for Monopoly though, because there's the swing. Chinese Shrug finds one. We've seen him do this before. Can he do it again though? Nope. That's Waffle coming from below like a predator in the deep, taking down Chinese Shrug. And the Hunter finds its prey, and that's 2-5 for the side of FIU.
Yeah, excellent post-plant setup there for the side of FIU. They had a player in elbow ready to peek off of Plaza's contact. Plaza holding that angle, perfect crosshair placement as well, and just finds the first, and Minari takes that peek, gets a second, and from that situation, you turned a 3v4 into a 3v2, and after that, they don't even know where Waffle is. Come out of the shadows and finish off the last one onto Chinese Shrug, who has no idea that Waffle was hiding in the tube the entire time.
And it does look like we're going to have a quick timeout here. We'll run down in about 30 seconds. But again, FIU, we talked about it in the pregame, coming out strong with the aggression. And this aggression is winning them rounds. Torify commanding so much space, so much respect. With that showstopper, with that raise pick in general, we've seen it have so much more impact than even Vex and Chinese Shrug could possibly have in terms of utility. I mean, they're sure Vex and Chinese Shrug, they're finding those kills, they're finding those trades, but Torify is just taking up so much space with those paint shells and with that showstopper that it's kind of hard to contest it. I mean, we've seen that Waterloo has had to just back off site, or they get torn through because Torify is just in places they don't expect, or, you know, coming out with an ult that just takes away so much from Waterloo in terms of manpower or in terms of, again, space. So, gonna see how Waterloo starts adapting to this. 4-5 pulls up Boombot again and finds the 2 kills. Oh, it's a disaster. Light gets the trade, but that's 2 men down, and Tokyo is already pushed out on site, and Light gets taken down as well, and the spike gets planted for FIU once more.
Yeah, and this time they did challenge onto the Showers position, but they didn't do so in a very protected manner. They weren't flashing with the Reyna, flashing the peek out onto the Boombot, and they just peek into Torify, who knows those back of their hand, and finding 2 kills right there is just going to open up the rest of the round for the rest of the team. And Tokyo is going to be able to find the third onto Light, who was trailing in showers, able to trade finally for Torify, and now 2v4 situation. They are not going to be going for this retake, just going for exits and probably sacrificing their life in the end here just to get the con up. But it looks like they're going to be sitting in spawn.
And in this first half, I mean, FIU looking absolutely dominant here. Kip, finding a kill onto Tokyo, actually. Not able to pick up the gun, but maybe Kip wants to keep the judge, actually. But again, FIU looking really, really, really strong coming out the gate in this third map. Again, it's tied 1-1. So, you know, FIU here showing that they want this game to be theirs and they want this series to be theirs as well. And again, look at Waterloo's economy right now. It's really rough in terms of what they can buy. They're still able to buy guns, but they're not optimal ones. We even see a Stinger come out from Light and a Shorty on Shrug. So again, what can you do here as Waterloo? Because, you know, the first half, it's still got 4 rounds in it, but you know, when you get to that second half, you got to start thinking of the game plan even ahead. How are you going to play it round by round? And that's even harder because while you're trying to plan ahead, you've got a Raze running at you with a big old ult and a big old paint shell and a big old advantage. And actually, though, it does look like FIU is going to play a little slower this time around this A site.
Yeah, playing for a little slower pace. They're going to go and take some space off the walk Owl drone. That's a great tag coming out. They're not going to be able to spot the player towards you all, but they have to be aware that this position has been sat for so many rounds. But Kip is going to be able to find Tokyo once again.
Planted.
Yeah, and Kip definitely did want to keep that judge there, and it comes up big in that U-Haul fight, but yeah, that's 2 kills over to FIU, and not surprising, they have the gun advantage, and you know, Waterloo has to push together. The spike is already down, Kip gets slowed out, has no angle, good angle here for the judge, and Waffle is looking up for him too, so Kip, she fires the early shot, not able to find the kill, gets taken down in the end, not able to secure anything. Now it's Vex with the Sheriff and Prim with the Spectre. Spectre's not that bad, but not if you don't know where anyone is. Vex finds 1. Can you find 2? No, you can't. 2-7. FIU.
FIU looking so dominant right now on their site takes. Slowing down the pace a little bit. They don't take showers, but they only run up short. Excellent tag from Awful from the Owl drone. Pushes back Vex. And then Kip is the only player basically that's holding the site while Vex is being pinged by that Owl drone. So Kip does find the first, but after that, it's just no one else is going to be running through U-Haul when they're aware that the judge is sitting there, and they just get the plant down and then rotate around and set up for a nice post play.
Now here comes Kip. Again, they're trying to contest. Waterloo's trying to contest the showers. But again, this Raze just takes up so much space. You have the paint shells, you have the boom bot that you have to respect, but actually Kip could find a good position here. Is curled up in that right side, or I guess left side for him. Potentially find a pick if anyone is not aware of his position. But Light actually catches Plaza in the astral form with his big flank here, but could walk right into Waffles. It's the Sova on Sova. Who's the hunter? Who's the prey? It's Waffle, who eventually finds a kill onto Light. Chinese Shrug is there to trade. Tailwind's a way to keep himself safe, but still in a super dicey position. Kip has to feel like he has to back off this position. Catches Torify. Oh, that was so close. But Kip finds it in the end. The neural theft comes out. Oh, Vex has a big swing here. The tailwind to get away. But now it's a 4-on-1 for Tokyo.
Yeah, just a little bit of insurance there, throwing out the Lear to make sure Tokyo's not pushing up close. And they've got 4 pairs of guns watching the singular angle where Tokyo is. 30 seconds remaining as well. This spike is in a very tough and unrecoverable position, but Tokyo does have the economy to try to go for this and do more damage if they would like to. And that sucks just to put more slow onto the situation. Spotted by the camera, not much they can do. Is a quadruple swing is going to close out this round onto Tokyo. Waterloo bringing it back to 3 here.
Yeah, and Waterloo takes that round off a big flank from Light. But again, adaptation. Will FIU quickly be able to recognize that? I mean, Light was only able to push up so far because there was no really in the area. More so timing than perhaps anything else. So again, we're gonna see a more flank watch adaptation from FIU. But again, Waterloo, a glimmer of hope, ray of sunshine in the bleak 3-7 scenario they're in right now. But you know, something small can soon enough become something big as the snowball rolls down the hill again. Waterloo taking an aggressive A position, but look at FIU. They're just rolling up short, and there's no one there to contest them. Torify's looking at site like, hey, guys, there's no one here. And I'm just going to walk up to the back of site, and now it's going to be a terribly difficult retake for Waterloo.
Planted.
Yeah, but look at the positioning. Vex and Kip are still in showers, and they had no clue. Types of position. And Waterloo look like they're on track to maybe take this retake.
Oh, and Light finds the Hunter's Fury, almost swings it onto Waffle, but isn't able to find it, but the Cosmic Divide comes down for FIU to lock off half of this site. Shrug gets revealed out, but finds Stella Plaza. Vex is there to trade with Waffle. That is a solid defuse. Solid round for Waterloo as well, and that's another round over to them. Looks like they're getting the engine up and running after being cold for quite a few rounds.
Yeah, and Waterloo were just poised
Last
for
round in the half.
The retake there. They had 2 in showers, which means that Torify wasted double satchels and got no value from them. They used a couple Astra stars as well, and when those utility don't find kills, then that means Waterloo has more utility to be able to try to get those initiations. And when it came to the retake, it was that difference of the utility on the retake that really helped them secure that round, especially Light Hunter's Fury. And Light Hunter Furies have been on point, but FIU still have lots of money to work with, so we'll see how they can answer here in this round.
Yeah, and of course that Boombot coming out again, as well as that Allodrawn on the shower side. This time, Kip not going to contest it as forward as he did in the previous round, but again, Torify that area. Hunter Series comes out. Waffle looking for those campy areas, but not gonna find anyone. Pain Shells tags up Kip slightly, but it's Light that opens up with First Blood. Plaza gets traded out, and again, here comes the ult again from Torify. What more can you find though? Get the shock started out. No! Vex not able to find a kill, and Waffle finds Chinese Shrug. Kip gets the trade, but it's the 3-on-2, and the spike is already down. If Kip finds Waffle here, no! That could have been huge, but now it's just Prim on the flank, and they heard the teleporter doors open. Ooh, just a nice shot on the recon dart there, but what can you do here if you're Prim? Right, you have to check every angle. You're getting Astra Starred out. You're getting Nebula. Probably going to get Gravity Weld as well, and you're going to peek straight into Waffle, who's probably going to be spraying pot shots at you. What kills can you find here if you're Prim? Tailwind away. Not going to find one. Not dead yet, but not in a great position either. Pushing on the side, and FIU is playing this beautifully. And it's Waffle that secures the round win with a 3K.
FIU so good here. 8-4 on the attacking half of mind you. This map, I would say, is a 5-7 type of defense map, which if a team knows really what they're doing, you generally get 7 rounds of defense, but getting 8 on attack is very, very tough. And now they're going to be moving on to the second half of bind on the defense side, so we really have to take note of what Waterloo can get going here on off, especially since they're running Reyna Jet, which are not the best duelists compared to the Rays on this map for taking space on these long chokes on the lanes.
Yeah, and especially to a Cypher able to flank watch, but not able to hold site, because there's no site to hold really unless you've already got the post plant down, which we don't even know how many of those Waterloo is going to get. Hopefully a few, as they are going into this on a deficit. Chinese Shrug going to tailwind into U-Haul, but Torify is probably already calling that out, and there is going to be 3 members of FIU on flank towards showers. Light doesn't see anyone, so might assume that, oh, I like this, as Waterloo is going to just go straight for that B site. And actually, it's Chinese Shrug still in U-Haul, who, oh, never mind, gets taken down with a quick shot of the classic, but Waterloo could look still to plant this spike here. Look for some nice post-plant positions.
Yeah, Prim is going to probably end up going on this 1v1 with Torify. So it's going to be huge whoever wins this 1v1 here, as they take up a lot of map control off of this fight here. Tapping away on that classic, not able to find Torify. Now it's just a 1v2, but able to get that trade is Plaza. And now it's a 4v3 situation.
Yeah, now Plaza feels like he has to push it up here, but could push right into Vex. No, it's a disaster. Vex unable to confirm the kill with the ghost, and that means it's another round over to FIU. It's 9-4.
There's no way that Vex has to lose that fight there. That's a very bad fight to lose in that situation. He's not even looking at you. He's looking at the right side of Octagon there, and that whiff really tough. It's going to cost them that round and put them down 4-9.
I should probably place some stars in the
It's dire straits for Waterloo. They're looking super in a rut now. They've got to start climbing themselves out of this hole. And right now, when you're in so deep and, you know, the dirt is filling up above you, you have to start taking bigger steps. Those small baby steps, the one step, foot by foot, is no longer going to get you out of this one. You've got to start making big impacts like that. Vex almost getting the opening kill on Torfy, but the wall will save you there. Never thought I would say that very often. Vex on flank. Watch Light. Ooh, gets tagged up pretty huge by that shock dart. This drone from Waffles could... Oh, maybe that paint shells could have been a little more better placed by Torfy, but that's okay. Still enough utility users to get Waterloo to back up for now, and gonna see what their game plan is going into this. It's still 5-5.
Yeah, and the game plan looks like a split A push, but Waffle's gonna stop the push coming out from Showers as Light falls down, and just Kip with the 71 HP. Chinese Shrug getting shot in the back door by nice positioning. Should find a second on Vex. Now it's down to Kip and Prim, and now it's just down to Prim, and now it's down as Waterloo are down 4-10. FIU looking on fire.
Yeah, and like we said in the pregame, FIU going for that aggression, and it's them that are coming out on top with it. They look indomitable, and I don't even use that word very often, but they are looking unstoppable in these rounds. I mean, look at the amount of wins that they have accrued over time. They're 6 rounds ahead, and they don't show any signs of stopping at all. And this Raze could be the pick, actually. I know we talked about it a bit earlier, Bowser, and we're going to talk about it again, because this Raze is just commanding this game. I mean, there's play, excellent play, of course, from all sides, especially off the side of FIU, but this Raze is legitimately causing so much trouble for Waterloo that they can't contest right now. I mean, there's no way that you can contest the paint shells, or I guess just Torfy getting that kill on Prim there. When you're especially in such a rut here with that economic disadvantage of always being behind. So Waterloo just kind of seems like they don't have many options right now, and I don't know what their plan is to be able to take it back in such a huge way.
Yeah, Spike is down in the market position. Minari trying to get something started out of long to the rest of the Titan team, but both players are still sitting on that spike, but big flank coming out from Chinese Shrug here.
Oh, this could be big. Catches one. Knows that Waffles should be around the corner, who gets togged out by the shock dart. And that is a round on the board for Waterloo. A slow step for sure, but hopefully another step is to come, as now they're able to buy a couple more guns for themselves. Prim is forced to stick on that Spectre though. And FIU maybe looking to just stick to the classics here, but I'm pretty sure they are just going to look for a buy. Yeah, that's going to be mostly rifles picked up for that team. Plaza is going to be stuck on that Sheriff though. And again, how much can you get here with this round win? It's strong for the mental for sure, but I want to see Waterloo carry this into something else, because if not, oh, it can be tough for them.
Yeah, Tokyo is going to look for this aggressive peek onto Shrug, and Shrug is going to spot that out, but not able to convert any damage over. And Aldron's going to look for a little bit more information, but isn't going to find anything else besides Chinese Shrug, but it's going to give Tokyo the positioning inside of Showers. They are not giving this position up for free.
Yeah, and Chinese Shrug here maybe looking to push this, but the gravity well didn't catch anyone, and you have to be real careful if you want to push this out. Whoever finds the first trade here, though, will be big. 1, 2. Oh, but Tragedy dashes straight into Waffle. Can Vex find the trade out, though? Yes! And that is big, but on the other side of the map comes 2 from Waffles and Minari. It's the 3-on-2 in the end. But Waterloo looking in a pretty good position, but they have to watch out for Plaza, who's taking shots down into the short area, but the plant will go down, and now you're facing a Cypher Astra post-plant scenario. You got to be real careful.
Yeah. Kip is going to hold on to this U-Haul position, and Red is going to hold on to the short. Prim is going to have the stars on the spike to stall time if needed, and wrap back into Showers. So 3 different ways they can stall out this end of the round here, where they should
big. Kip only finds 1, but that's okay. That's still time wasted. Still have Prim on the flank here. Vex just fired shot. Prim! Ooh, it was close there. Prim giving me a bit of the jitters, but in the end, that will secure the 6th round for Waterloo. And hey, not to put down Waterloo, but yes, the comeback is good. But again, you have to be careful here, and I think Waterloo is definitely in a primer state of mind. They're a lot more focused this game. They know there's a lot more on the line. There's not going to be as much cheesy strats coming out. They are here to put up a fight, and they don't want to go down without a struggle. And now they've come back 2 rounds in a row. Can they keep it up?
Yeah, and looking at the setup here, there's going to be a more of a lean for the side of FIU here. And Waterloo are going to try to barrel through this setup, even though that's a barrier orb and the slow orb being invested for this hookah position.
And I mean, Waterloo still has the time here, but you know, bullets are still bullets. You don't want to run out of those. Not that that's very likely, but Waterloo still has the time to deal this decently. Waffles looking to bait out maybe a shot or 2, looking for information, but Waterloo is not going to give that up. Kip looking for a surefire shot instead. Actually, no, will pull the trigger, but not going to find anything. There's going to be 1 at least for Waterloo on that B side, and the drone out as well. So they might look to fake a B push here. Torfire with the shorty and the showstopper as well, though they are going to tag out Kip, but a very slow round for Waterloo so far.
Now Trug is going to dash up on this U-Haul position. Tokyo right click to the head. No chance for Tokyo to react. And going to also be able to find a gun or a kill on the other side of things. And Vex
big
one on Quad as well. 4v2, 4v1. Light coming up big with that kill onto Waffle as well. Recon dart, and this is going to be a very easy post-plant situation where it's only Minari alive. Go for the... Nah, they don't have guns. It shouldn't be a res coming out here. So Minari's probably just going to wrap all the way around, find the timing, and hopefully get a kill here. And Minari does have a Phantom to work with here.
Oh, but Light is watching in that direction. I like this awareness from Waterloo. This just could be Minari's death. Quick little headshot, and that's the 7th round of Waterloo. And I love Waterloo playing this round. I mean, the shots are there, the coordination is there, the flanks are good, the timing is good, the peaks are good. But again, I definitely think that FIU got a little antsy there. They're pushed up when they don't need to be. I mean, again, when you're on the defensive side, you can just let the timer run out. FIU looking a little bit like they want to chase these kills, and in doing so, looking for the flank, they get caught out. And, you know, I definitely don't think FIU will let that happen again. But again, that's another round in the bag for Waterloo, so they're looking pretty strong now as they slowly make their way back.
Oh, Recon dart lineup scuffed a little bit. Not going to be able to find the tanks, and he's going to get broken away. Very nice barrier orb being used towards the shower position, and Aldro not going to get much value, just 1 tag, but the shot darts are good. Traded for the paint shells as well.
Forces out the heal and the satchel to potentially delay any engage that Torfire believed was coming, but the spike is actually dropped down on that market side. And again, Waterloo playing this slower game. FIU, if they get antsy, they might suffer for it, but this time, look, they're not looking to push up at all. They're holding good positions. But actually, members of FIU are actually both stacked on site on B, and that could be dangerous for them, especially if Chinese Shrug gets any sort of tailwind dash into a prime position. Gonna drone out, spots 3, and that signals go for Waterloo. Here comes the Empress from Vex, popping out that leer, gets Nebula smoke, but it doesn't matter. Here comes the tailwind from Chinese Shrug, gets canceled on my Plaza. That's the first kill down for FIU, but now Light and Vex both finding kills on the site. Torify finding Light on the flank on Hookah, but now Vex knows where he is. Still has the Empress. Pretty big. Can he find the kill? The wall flank is not good. Not there yet, but Vex finds another. It's the dismiss. It's the heal. Has to back away. Kip finds straight on Minari, and now it's all going Waterloo's way. Torify is the only one less in Hookah, and now it's all on him to find kills. But can he find anything? He's against 3 members. The spike is down. Here comes the shots. Here comes Kip. Here comes another round for Waterloo. It's 8-10 now.
Waterloo showing signs of life, bringing this game back to a competitive scoreline, 4 rounds in a row. This is very, very good for Waterloo's economy, and it also breaks FIU's economy at the same time, forcing them into sheriffs here on the defense side. And I'm getting proven wrong that I thought behind them was a defense-sided map statistic-wise, but these guys are playing like it's not. These guys are playing that like this map is made for the duelists, made for the entries, and made for the attack side.
And I mean, Waterloo playing this slower style. baiting out the info, letting the timer run down, but then still to a manageable time, and then attacking those sites. And it's in those attacks that it seems like FIU is not able to adapt. And Chinese Shrug with the Judge finds his one, Light finds another with the Hunter, and again, they're on site already. Chinese Shrug dashing in, prime position with the Judge. Tokyo has the Blade Storm out, does not connect 2 daggers. Spike is going down, look at Chinese Shrug, this could be big. Hello Tokyo, meet my big freaking gun as Chinese Shrug takes him down. And now, this is another prime post-plan position for Waterloo. Oh, awful.
One enemy remains.
Here comes Chinese Shrug with the Quadra, with the flawless to take down FIU. Oh my goodness, Bowser. This is the 5-round win for Waterloo.
What a show Waterloo is putting on right now. The comeback kings are showing them that they're never out. Never count them out, because they'll always come back. And Chinese Shrug with the Demon Cannon out in these hours of night here, as Chinese Shrug just gets a big 4K on that eco to open up that round with the assistance of Light's Hunter Fury to clear out that position.
Yeah, and now Waterloo now more heavily positioned around the B side. They might be looking to just go for it aggressively this time, but I've been liking the more slow style. So gonna see if they're actually gonna commit to this B side or maybe look for a rotate through the teleporter. But either way, we already see the Plaza's making that rotation. No, actually gonna stick towards that A side, and there's no information coming out. That means Vex just gets to push in Garden for free. Kip gets the tag on Plaza, they know where he is, and that's still 3 members of FIU on A, and now it looks like the execute could come through again. Chinese Shrug coming in with the tag. Oh man, you're gonna put Plaza, no! Caused by headshot, but left with 33 health, and this could be a disaster for Waterloo, but Prim finding 2 on the back of the site. Waffle coming in with the Hunter's Fury, not gonna find anything. It's the 3-on-3, but the spike is gonna go down for Waterloo, and that's all 3 members of FIU in this CT side. Neural Theft too.
Yeah, the retake's gonna be quick underway for the other side. Aldro through, but all of the Waterloo members are playing offsite behind the Cosmic Divide here, so they have to be careful because they can't hear exactly when this spike is going to get tapped. Side like the Light walking out with the dart in hand is going to get killed over by Torify. Kip trades back onto Waffle. The spike is not being sat on right now.
Last player standing. Pulling them in. Last player standing.
Oh, and now Prim could have something massive here. Bro, some fake toes, but it doesn't matter because Prim has the aim, and that's 4 for Prim. And now Waterloo has tied it up. How has this happened? They came back, and now it's 6 rounds in a row in the second half. And Bowser, like you said, this is a defender-sided map, but Waterloo all of a sudden is starting to roll the snowball bigger and bigger and bigger. And how much bigger can it get? I mean, FIU must be trembling right now. There's no way that Waterloo can pull off the comeback, is there? And now Waterloo is feeling in a prime position with the economy, with the momentum. This could be huge.
Yeah, and so this round, it should be a 3-round over to Waterloo, as it's going to be an eco for the side of FIU here. And 2 players on the B site, but lots of stall utility to be used.
And now, again, Waterloo playing slow. They're not overcommitting anything. They're not, going for peaks that they don't need to. They're just looking for the info, baiting out the utility. Key thing, though, they don't have anyone on flank watch this time. They didn't have it last round either, but this time the adaptation might come through. But Tokyo on a flank with only a Sheriff can be risky. So we're going to see what happens, as Tokyo is going to look to push up that market now. And now Waterloo, they already have, 3 members pushed way up into that teleporter side. They could just look for the rotate, but Tokyo has a prime position on the flank. So if Waterloo decides to push through market, they're gonna watch now, and the shot's coming through. Tokyo finds 1, gets traded out. Now it looks like Waterloo's gonna go for the instant rotate. That's 2 in the teleporter. That's still Torify on A, and you have to be careful because now he's pushing up aggressively. You might catch a kid here. No, yeah. Oh my goodness, Torify. How could you do this? How could you dash while this lose hopes in one fell swoop? Because that's 2 members down. That's Minari taking down Flood, and that could be Grim going down here as well, and Waterloo not able to find it. 10-11 over to FIU.
Torify. The raise, the impact that he's finding is not just the raise, it's also Torify themselves being so aware of the situation and what the game is going to be like and how it will unfold. And right there, Torify knew, okay, They're up B, but they're not on site. That means they can still teleport. Torify says, okay, if they teleport, I can instantly get into showers and probably find a timing where they don't expect me to be pushed up here waiting for them. And just like that, finds 2 players with their guns in their pockets and gets 2 free kills, cleaning up that round and securing them the 11th on what would have been an eco.
Bowser, talk about caster curse, telling the audience that it was gonna be an easy round for Waterloo, but no, FIU swing it all the way back around to the drone. The drone doesn't catch Minari, and Minari knows it. Minari knows they might have a position here. Now here comes oh, looking for the pick with the Phantom, has to dash away, but Minari's there for the swing. They don't know they're there. Chinese Shrug gets taken down. To be fair, only a judge to their name, but that's first blood over to FIU. What can Waterloo do here? It's almost like they've been frozen in their tracks as now FIU just playing slow. You don't have to peek anything here. You can just play time. The one-way goes out. Kip can't find anything here. Has to potentially back away. Shock dart gets dodged by Light, but what more can Waterloo find here? They're in such a tough position.
Yeah, this is a crossfire setup, but Waffle's gonna gift over a kill to Vex, over peeking slightly, and now Tokyo in a really bad position without support here. And Waterloo are gonna be overwhelming with these 29 seconds to remain, and Prim finding both the players onto site here. A 4v2 for Waterloo. They have a chance to tie it up here.
Oh, and Bowser, this game is just too close. I'm losing my mind here. It's first of all of a sudden, Waterloo comes into this round. On the offside, the drone doesn't spot Minari. But FIU gets a pick, but then Waterloo swings it back around. They have the man advantage, and now it looks like they're primed to win this round. I don't know what's happening anymore, Bowser. But now, all of a sudden, the post-line positions are looking again solid for Waterloo. Let's do some more calm casting here. It's Prim. Oh, sorry, Plaza gets taken down by Vex. He doesn't know that Vex is there. Torify finds Kip. Torify has been coming up huge for FIU, but it's not huge enough in this round. It's tied up again, 11-11.
11-11. Both teams got to make their wishes here, and hopefully their wishes come true, as it's going to be very tough because FIU are sitting at under 1K almost for every single player, but they have 3 ultimates to work with. So theoretically going into this round, they haven't the ultimates, but when they have to use it, they have got to do it before they fall down. And so we really need to see some sort of defensive aggression here to make sure that they're able to get their ultimates off to convert this round over, or else they're going to be put on an eco at 12-11. So this is a very important round here for the side of FI.
Oh, and the early shock dart comes out, doesn't tag anyone yet. And again, Waterloo playing slow. More default position. Looking for information, baiting out utility. Again, this is what has been winning them rounds in this game. Can it keep the streak up though? Because Chinese Shrug is going to look to start pushing. They're going to start shooting down this wall. That might signal to FIU, hey, there's some members, but you can't over-rotate against Waterloo because, hey, there's teleporters on this map. Plaza looking potentially to go for the swing there, but decides against it. To be too risky, the recon dart comes out for Light. Catch the back of sight. Not going to find anything. Hey, that rhymed. Anyhow, going forward, it does look like Waterloo's going to still be a little hesitant to push this site. There's still 2 members of A, so if they pull the trigger and they get these kills, this could be another post-plant scenario in the favor. Waterloo.
Yeah, and I like this position from the side of FIU, falling back with the Astra, falling back with the Sage, because both of those agents have their ultimates up, and you do not want to die, because if you lose this round, you are forced onto an eco, and so they're going to give up this site here. They know the spike's going to go down here, and they're going to be playing for this 5v5 retake. Showstopper, Cosmic Divide, and the Resurrection.
Vex finds the first blood, and that's big. Showstopper coming out, not finding anything. Plaza finds the trade on Vex, though, but Chinese Shrug finds it as well. Finds Minari healing, but Minari pulls it up faster than Shrug can. That didn't sound good. That sounded better in my head. As now, it's 4 members of FIU against 3 members of Waterloo, and Waterloo is going down. No, Fear finds 2. Fear finds 3. It's huge. It's 2-on-1. Torify Gravity well not able to find it. Match point for Waterloo.
Prim comes up huge in those final moments of that round, gets a big 3K of 3 players running through that Cosmic Divide, and I don't know if I agree with that decision from FIU. You're on the right side of the wall, you just gotta sit on that side of the wall and defuse the spike, but they push through, and that gives Prim the chance to get a big 3K and secure out this round that puts FIU on Spectres.
Oh, and it's match point, and I don't think I've ever casted a game as close as this, Bowser. And Pinocchio has the Blade Storm, but so does Chinese Shrug. This could be a duel that decides a big part of this early round. I know it's so much for Chinese Shrug, and it's another for Kip. And oh my goodness, Waterloo has the position. The neural theft comes out. The information is there, and it says, hey, A-site is weak, and that's where Waterloo's going now. Look at the instant rotate, and that means FIU knows that it's coming. They know that they have to be there. Plaza finds the early kill on Kip. That could be big, but not enough to find the rifle. Waterloo's still in a prime position, and they still have time. The rotate can still come out, but no, they're going to secure the plant. It's actually now the 4-on-3. No, never mind. Plaza finds another. It's the 3-on-3, but it's still only Spectres for FIU. They almost find Vex, but no, Vex has the leer to block out the shots for Plaza, but still finds Vex anyways. Plaza could come up huge here to tie it up and send it to overtime. Light has to break the recon dart, but it's still the post-plant scenario. It's 3-on-2. They don't know where Prim is. Prim has the gravity well. Gets gravity well in return. And now Plaza coming up big. Menard gets the kill. And oh my gosh, FIU sends it to overtime.
We've got back-to-back overtime games. This is crazy. Waterloo and FIU going step for step, shoe for shoe, every single shot for shot as well. And it's going back and forth. That round was Plaza coming up huge. Plaza finding the first kill onto Kip, catching Kip in the timing of the camera. But then Waterloo decide, okay, we don't want to challenge Plaza and U-Haul, but that comes back and bites them because Plaza comes out and swings and finds a second 1v1, and then a third, and then a fourth. And Plaza just, with just a Spectre, did all of that and brings this match and the set to another time.
And I'm aghast, Bowser. I'm not gonna lie. Both teams here are sending me with punches to the left and punches to the right as they take this game back and forth and back and forth, and it's too close to call at this point. Both teams have given everything they've got, and it's still so close, and that just goes to show how skilled both of these teams are. But now it's FIU on the attack. We've seen that, Waterloo struggled on the defense. So can they bring it back to this round and get the first blood for the rounds in overtime? On Haven, they weren't able to secure it. But now it's two members of Waterloo. I think that's Prim and Light chilling in the garden area. But if they go down here, but if they find the kill instead, it could be huge. Minari has to check the corners and checks into 2. That's 1 down. Can you find me more? Down. You'll find the up kill. Can you find more? Waffle finds the trade onto Light, and now it's still the 3-on-3. But now all members of Waterloo have to rotate from the A site, and now Kip stuck in this smoke because the recon dart is there. Has to put out the cyber cage to let himself get outside. The planet is going down. Chinese shot finds Kip. Waffle not able to find the trade. Plaza finds it, and now it's Vex on Plaza. But it's the Astra with a gravity well, and oh, you have to be careful. You have to be so careful. Plaza gets baited into it, and Vex finds the wall bang, and now it's match point again for Waterloo.
Wow, and just like the round before, just like the game before, just like every single one, this was a player for player. Every single player traded down, and it was a 5v5 to start, then a 4v4, then a 3v3, then a 2v2, and finally simplifying the game down to the 1v1 between Vex and Plaza. And Vex, with the crosshair placement, wins the gun duel against Plaza, even though Plaza had the suck there to play around. And it's really coming down to it here as Waterloo are gonna be going for this B take here with the Cypher trips to watch the flank.
Yeah, and now Waterloo's on the attack, where they, in this match, have historically been stronger. So are they going to be able to carry that performance forward? They're looking around that B side like they did in many of the rounds. Now Torfight might actually go for the early rotate, sensing that some shenanigans might happen on the B side. And Bowser, I cannot tell you, I'm literally trembling right now. My breaths are shallow as Waffles opens up the round with a kill on Chinese Shrug. And oh, FIU, good look to put it back into overtime. Tokyo finds another on Light, and oh, it should be falling apart. Yes, it is. Tokyo finds 2, and now it's all up to Vex and Kip to make this happen. And not to jinx it, but it doesn't look good for Waterloo.
Vex is gonna be able to grab the spike, but it's just gonna walk into the crosshairs of Waffle. Waffle, perfect timing coming out of B long to get the flank onto Vex, and Vex is gonna fall. And now Kip, the only one alive, 40 seconds to work with, but a 1-on-4 at the same time, and Kip is Going to try to push forward towards the market position, approaching the Nebula. The Nebula just gets refreshed instantly. The Cypher camp to try to get through, and the Cage to go as well. But Tokyo cleaning up the round. Big pickup with the operator there.
Oh, we're tied up again, Bowser. And, I mean, this game is just too close at this point. And honestly, whichever team wins deserves it. Both teams, have fought so hard for this map. You know, and Haven was definitely, you know, FIU's map to take. You know, they almost lost it. And, you know, at this point, I'm so delirious that I don't even really remember what's happened in maps 1 and 2. All I know is that map 3 is literally the closest map we've seen, obviously, between these two so far. And again, on the attack, we see the Raze Boombot come out in showers. It's looking to make that space again. And now, Torfy doesn't have the showstopper, but again, taking away that shower space, looking for that cheese area on those boxes, gonna paint shells to clear out even more space, but it's just a bait because the rest of FIU is on that B side.
Yeah, but Prim is still towards his B side, and now they're over to it, and this is an excellent fake, but Prim might be able to stay here and catch the timing on one of these fights here.
Yeah, now here comes the rotate for light. If Prim can find even one pick here like that, that's big for Waterloo. That's 1 on the board, and now it's the 5-on-4. Minari has to go for the plant spike. They've spotted out Prim. They're not gonna go for the plant. Not just yet. There it goes. Now it's down. Can Prim find more? Yes. But Plaza finds Vex. Torfy finds Prim. Light finds Waffle. It's trades on trades on trades, but numbers advantage for Waterloo so far. Astra placing down those stars, smoking off, but Kip has the flank. Oh, almost find Plaza, yes, and now you could find Torfy here, and that could be Big Camera coming out. And now it's Torfy, either Lonesome finds one, but can't find the second. Waterloo match points.
And this is just crazy Valorant. FIU had such a solid fake, but they missed their timing window to push onto the B site, and Prim actually slips back into the back of the site, and they had no utility invested to clear out back site, so Prim just takes a peek and catches Tokyo in the side of the head, and once that first pick happens, they're scared of this player back site, and this just gives more time for Kip to go all the way around on flank while the rest of Waterloo rotating back over, and after that, it's just like, you've got so much space to work with. They know that they could be up elbow, but you have all the backside, so you only need to worry about the elbow angle. And then from there, they push in through, retake the site, and get the trades needed to finish out that round.
Yeah, and finish out the round, but they finish out this game. I mean, I don't think we've seen, not to rehash the same old stuff, but both teams still playing the same old strats that we've seen for most of the game. Again, position around this B side, but this time, crucially, no one on flank. Kip placing those trap wires, and then heading over to that long area, and it does look like the DXP is going to come through. Whichever the first pick is, oh, that's an opto, but nice dodge, and Prim opens up with Tokyo on the off, and oh, that's a big pick. The gravity well can't fall for now, but Plaza can find one, finds two. Plaza coming up huge again. It's Plaza on this Astra coming up big in these overtime matches, and now Vex has to find his pick on Waffle here to open up the space, because if you don't, that's more control, and that's more manpower over to FIU.
Last player standing.
Now just down to Light in this 1v4 situation, and they know exactly where Light is, sitting on 10 HP. They get the spam through, and ladies and gentlemen, triple OT.
Switching sides.
I don't even know
Overtime.
what to say anymore, Bowser. I mean, I have been sat here at this studio for almost 4 hours now, and this game still doesn't show signs of stopping, and that's okay. I mean, I might not even make it home tonight because the buses don't run this late, but that's okay because this game is so intense, and all of the players are consistently showing up in the round to make it this close. And Plaza not showing up maybe as much as Torfy was in the earlier stages of this round, but now in these clutch overtime situations, Plaza showing up huge for FIU and saving it from the brink of loss. Now here comes over Waterloo on defense. The drone saying hi to Light, and now it looks like they might want to take up this space, but again, Paint Shell's denying all of that. Tokyo pushing up with the op. Prim has the position. Torfy finds the opening, gets traded up by Vex. Can you find more? No. Waffles is still good. You don't have to peek here. Plaza gets taken down. Menard finds one. Menard finds two. Gets traded out. And it's
Spike
still a
down
2-on-2.
A.
How is it so close? How is it always so close? As now it's Waffle and Tokyo against Kip and Vex. They are going to look to teleport away. Tokyo, though, still crucially holding this off position. Doesn't get taken down either. Oh, my goodness me. It's that close. It is that close.
Spike planted.
And Shrug, only sitting on 13 points of health here, has a tough task ahead of him. Has to be able to retake against 2 here, and potentially an op on the other side too, for all Shrug knows. And there's so many angles you just gotta clear out, and I don't want to count him out just yet. It's a very tall task, and it looks like Shrug has got to do the best they can. He's going to be walking up, going to get the tap on the spike here. Tokyo's going to take this first peek. The Waffle's going to be able to clean that one up onto Shrug at the same time. Nice double peek on the side of FIU. And now it's going to be FIU with the first match point in a while now. Waterloo not able to close it out 3 times, and now it's FIU's chance to be able to try to clean things up.
FIU getting the first match point in this overtime, and now Waterloo backs against the wall. Can they push it to a 4th overtime? Do I dare believe? Yes, I do, just to keep this game going. I mean, look at the scores. It's so even across the board. It's so back and forth. And again, FIU have a chance to close out this 4-hour best of 3. Vex, though, opens up on Torify, and again, they've shown they've been stronger in the attack, but no, not this time. Minari, there's 2 in U-Haul now, but Tokyo opens up with the second pick, and oh, it's looking dire. Oh, it's looking so dire. Kip pushing it. No, you didn't find the 2, but it's okay. It's right there to help you. It's the 2-on-2. The Waffle finds the trade. Oh, it's the 1. And light is not the end of the tunnel today. It is, in fact, FIU taking this best of 3 in a harrowing match for Waterloo. But it's 16-14 FIU. It's over. FIU take the series.
Yeah, and Waterloo had so many chances to close it out, but in the end, it's going to be FIU who's going to win the battle of endurance, sticking to the guns that got them all the way to the end. And even though Tokyo didn't have the best of performances, the operator really came in through at the very end, especially those last 2 rounds. Tokyo getting those picks and finding those frags with the op to make it so that the team was able to close out those last final 2 rounds. And I've got to say, Torify is a demon of a player, especially on that raise on bind there.
And I'm a little exhausted, but I do believe this is one to go down in the books. Both teams giving it their all, and like you said, Torify coming up huge in the early game, carrying FIU through 7 rounds at the beginning. All of the wins in that first half, a lot of it up to Torify. And then Plaza coming up massive in the overtime, 3 rounds of it. And eventually that means that FIU pick it up, gather it all together, and throw it right back at Waterloo's face and say, no, we are going to give you your first loss this season in CF1. We're going to take this series 2-1. We're going to take it all the way to quadruple, triple overtime. And okay, all of the players, hats off to them for playing this long and still showing up and giving us such excellent performances. And I don't think that I will ever maybe see a game as awesome as that. And I mean, there's still plenty of games to go, but this is definitely one to remember, Bowser. And, well, I don't know what else there is to say.
Yeah, there is a little bit more to say, though, as we have a shout out for sponsor Deliver. Deliver is the company that makes everything that you see here possible, being the sponsor for you, Waterloo Esports. So, Deliver, what are they? Who are they? Well, they're a new startup fulfillment company, and they do fulfillment for companies such as Walmart, Shopify, Amazon, while also being accessible to small businesses, including mom and pop stores. And they work to provide businesses with an easy way to ship items to customers quickly. They offer 2-day fulfillment for all businesses, and they even the playing field between small and large businesses by offering fast and reliable shipping. And why is this important to us as students? Well, Waterloo in particular
they're grads of Waterloo that started Deliver, and they're always looking for more UW students to work with, and they provide a direct line of talent to Deliver, and they help support the program and increase everything. So most of the engineers on Deliver are always looking to hire. So if you're looking for internships or co-ops, make sure to go and find Deliver with 2 R's. That's DELIVERR. It's been a long night. And if you're interested, you can also type !Deliver in the chat, and there should be a link there for you to visit. And if you have any questions that you would like to email as well, you can go to careers@deliver.com and send them an email, and they will always be able to respond with whatever inquiry, or if you're looking for a job and or opportunity to look forward to. So with that said, I think we're just about done to close off the night. Any final words from you, Blobfish?
This has been one of the greatest matches I think we'll ever see in CF1. Props to both teams. This has been an amazing match. Props to Waterloo. Props to FIU. Congratulations, FIU, on your victory. And we hope to see both teams back in great form in future matches. I have been Blobfish. With me has been Bowser. Thank you, everyone who has stuck with us all night. We hope to see you back soon for more broadcasts. Catch you later.
Down B. 1 enemy.
Let's go!
One enemy remaining. Down B. 1 enemy.
Let's go!
One enemy remaining.
Run that time.
Always hanging by your phone. Do I even know you?
I'm Michael Karkaris. I'm one of the co-founders here at Deliver. Deliver is a fulfillment service for online merchants. So essentially merchants send inventory into the Deliver warehouse network. We store that inventory on behalf of the merchant, and then when orders come in for the merchant across the various different channels, we pick, pack, and ship those items to the buyer and deliver it on time. Buyers today expect items to be delivered fast and free and on time.
We see a very direct correlation between how fast a merchant is able to get their products to people's doorsteps and how much do they sell. We are ordering more and more things online. We expect them to show up faster and faster on our doorsteps.
I think today free 2-day shipping is obviously the norm, but I see that going faster to 1-day and to same-day shipping. We have an incredible team. They're super curious, amazing problem solvers. They come from a wide variety of backgrounds. Some people come from the technology space, other people come from the logistics space, and it's a really great melting pot of ideas at Deliver.
I like working at Deliver for a whole bunch of reasons. I love the team. I love getting to work with individuals in Toronto and Chicago.
definitely a lot of work-life balance at Deliver. Everybody really respects the fact that we all have personal lives and, you know, sometimes things happen, doctor's appointments, family things. It's all about communication and making sure that you're keeping everybody in the loop, and as long as you've got the work that you have to get done covered, when you're not going to be around, or you're able to do it remotely the same way you would do it if you're in the office, then you're able to do that, and it's an awesome perk. I love being able to work from home when I can.
I would describe Deliver's team culture as ambitious and mutually supportive.
I think one thing that Deliver enjoys is having their employees feel comfortable at work. And if you're stressed and if you're tired, you're not going to be able to produce good work.
It's really easy for me to go talk to like people in engineering or to kind of our leadership on the growth team.
One of the problems we're solving is the placement problem, trying to figure out where we should put our items.
You know, you have all these products spread all over the country. Figure out like the cheapest way to get these to the final customers to order them. You know, when you don't know where the orders are going to come from, and the orders can come in weird patterns.
And small changes in how we make these decisions results in, you know, $1 million savings for the company.
The Deliver model is unique in that we don't own any of the underlying assets. So we've basically assembled an Uber-like network of warehouses where we leverage excess space in these warehouses across the country.
There's a lot of research and development that has to be done to figure out the best algorithms and methods that we should be using for our workflow and for our placement.
Everyone from like the CEO down to the most entry-level people, they really want to know like, what does the data say? And they have a lot of tools to get to that. So we know like exactly when a package is going to get from a certain warehouse to a certain zip code. And that's the kind of power that none of our customers ever could do on their own.
As we've launched this Deliver journey, it's been truly rewarding to see businesses do something that they could never do before.
The whole world is burning. Sometimes the only way to put out the flames is with more fire.
Basically assembled an Uber-like network of warehouses where we leverage excess space in these warehouses across the country.
There's a lot of research and development that has to be done to figure out the best algorithms and methods that we should be using for our workflow and for our placement.
Everyone from like the CEO down to the most entry-level people, they really want to know like, what does the data say? And they have a lot of tools to get to that. So we know like exactly when a package is going to get get from a certain warehouse to a certain zip code. And that's the kind of power that none of our customers ever could do on their own.
As we launched the Deliver journey, it's been truly rewarding to see businesses do something that they could never do before.
The whole world is burning. Sometimes the only way to put out the flames is with more fire.
Basically assembled a Uber-like network of warehouses where we leverage